I feel comfortable that you both know how to do a squat, a sit squat. Okay, you had the proper mechanics. It's called triple flexion. Perfect at the ankle, perfect at the knee, perfect at the hip. Range of motion I'm not worried about. It's just the first assessment, so to speak. But now I take them to a free motion environment, and I want to see if they could do the same. When you know you have an external sense of support, you're about to hit a bench, you're about to hit a ball, it's pretty easy. A wall squat, it's pretty easy. It's kind of predictable and it's dictated. So now it's free motion. It's a whole new ball game. This is where people crumble. You guys are athletes, you guys are trainers, so you probably can do it correctly, but this is where people crumble. They're either going to, most often times when someone does a squat, they're going to do this. You see it 9 times out of 10. Second way will be this. Okay, and what we're really looking for, can you hold this right here? What we're really looking for, just hold it right there, is this, where you're coming down in this position. Okay, that's my range of motion, my full range of motion. The reason being is because my femur is so long and tibia ratio. Because my femur is so long, as I go down, I start to go forward. So I have to stop right about here. That's me. I am not a squatter. Period. Okay? So even if I go wide like this, I'm not a squatter. That's as much as I can go. So I'm looking for that hip, to initiate the squat with the hip complex and get that back, and just let the knee act as a hinge joint that's just bending as I maintain my center of mass. So just do basic squats. So I would assess your ability to do a basic squat, free motion squat. What's the strongest position for a squat as far as where the feet go? What would you recommend starting out?
I recommend keeping my feet underneath my armpits.
Okay, I like that. I like the way he said that. I always look at someone's feet together, and I drive that line right down from the hip, okay, and I just say put your foot to the outside of that hip. And for him, it's exactly what he just said, right under his armpits. Okay, so just a tad wider than the hip. Not much, but he has a good base of support. I personally am not a fan of these wide, rotating.
Not healthy.
Okay, you got to think about where the rotation comes from. It comes from the acetabulum, the greater trochanter, the ball and socket of the hip. If you're not turning properly, your knee is just a modified hinge joint, so you could be putting a lot of stress on your knee if you're not in that right position. And a majority of people, if you walk up to a gym and see somebody doing these squats with their legs out like that, plie, what do they call it? They think they're working their inner thighs. Okay, so let's get a lot of this stuff is based on sensation or perception to learn a movement, and they think they're working it. So basic squats, guys. Yeah. Vladimir, that's as deep as I would go for you. It's perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Relax. Step out for a second. Keep going, Mark.
Okay.
Mark has some good mechanics. I see a little bit going on in his lumbar spine, a little bit of deviation in his lumbar spine, kind of a drop in his lumbar spine. I notice a little bit when he's coming down. See how far flexed he goes? Watch his upper body.
Yeah.
How he flexes so far. Can you drop your chin right there? Freeze. Can you drop your chin? Drop your chin. Okay, that's where I need you to be to give everyone an idea how far forward he is. I would love for him to be here, and it's not happening. It's not happening. Okay, so there are some muscular imbalances going in here, which I cannot assess right now. Whether it's hip flexors, psoas, there's something in his hip, etc. It could be I doubt it if it's calf. His heels are not lifting like I thought they would from a tight gastroc or something going on there. They're pretty good. But I don't think I'd have him do too many. Maybe loaded, you're better.
Yeah, when I'm loaded, it sits me down,
Okay.
helps me flex my back better.
Okay. So under load, because you've been doing powerlifting.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's more athletic and inclined to do a lift with, let's say, a bar on his back or a front squat or something. He probably has a better ability to maintain that. But this is good. As a trainer, I want to work him in a free motion squat. Okay, I know he could probably push some load, 315,
Yeah.
2 1/4. It's not my concern. My concern is, can I get his body to a state where he has that proper alignment, where he gets to go down and keep that sternum high, okay, and load that properly, keep that sternum high and come up, rather than flexing forward. Okay, so for every degree forward, we put more pressure on that Lincoln support system, on every facet joint, on every vertebral column. So the more flex forward, whether it's 100 or 200% more pressure for every time we flex forward. Forward flexed. Forward flexed with load would be even worse. Okay, so I don't know if you flex forward like that with a bar. Do you flex forward with that?
I sit further backwards with a bar. So it helps me sit more on my heels, which helps me flex better.
Okay.
So I look worse off without weight. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say. So like when I warm up with 135, you know, I'm flexing more forward because I can't. The weight locks me back.
Okay.
So
So he needs an external sense of load to
Yeah.
give him proper body mechanics. But isn't the bar just an extension off the core? So really, so we could say that you need to
I
work
without
on
it.
Yeah, you have to work without it.
Yeah, you gotta get flexible.
Yeah, you have to work without it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
with
there's
it,
there's a lot going on as far as muscular imbalances. There's certain muscles that are extremely tight that need to be lengthened, elongated.
Sure.
Okay, I don't know if it's hip flexors. I'm not sure what it is. I'm thinking it possibly can be hip flexors because of the way your back was tilting, your pelvis was tilting as you were going down.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It might be. Yeah.
more
I think you're right.
so as hip flexor, etc.
Yeah.
Versus hamstring.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. A little more.
Hamstrings are tight, a little tight.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's all related. The gastroc shares the same attachment as the hamstring, the condyles of the knee, so one could be pulling on the other, etc. But I didn't see the heel lift, so I'm saying, okay, maybe it's not coming from the calf too much.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of my thought process. But as a trainer, I'm looking at you and I'm saying, I'm going to do sit squats with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to load it that way. I'm going to also start doing some, whether it's myofascial release or hip flexor stretching. I'm going to start doing in between sets as well as at the end of the workout.
Yeah.
Okay, very lightly in between. You want to disrupt the length tension relationship, but just very light stretching, quick stretching. Could be 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there, just in between,
Sure.
etc. Even myofascial rolling, little rolling prior to the workout. Warm up, roll, train your legs, roll. Do some passive stretching, some facilitated stretching, some contact stretching with the true stretch, etc.
Sure.
You know,
Okay.
so that would help you tremendously.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Now we've learned the squat. There's different applications on how to load the squat. So let's go over some of the ways you would load a squat without putting a bar on your back.